Hey guys, it's Scott here from Horse Racing Daily, and today's video is going to be on the 2022 Ohio Derby. And this field for the Ohio Derby drew a very interesting field, in my opinion. There's not that really top horse in there, but you have a lot of horses that were solid at the beginning of the year, but also come with their fair share of question marks. And we'll start with White Abarrio, who I think is going to go off as the favorite of the race. He won the Florida Derby. I wasn't really impressed with how the times came home from the Florida Derby. I know they ran really fast up front, but I just thought overall that race could have been better than it was. So I wasn't too high on it. And then he ran 16th in the Kentucky Derby. But if he can run back to his Holy Bull, and if the Florida Derby effort was better than I give it credit for, then he should certainly win this race. And the next horse is Tawny, and Tawny Port's trained by Brad Cox. And the first time they tried him in the Risen Star on dirt, he didn't really do all that great. He'd been running on synthetic. And then they tried him on dirt again in the Lexington, and he won that race. And then he got a solid seventh in the Kentucky Derby. But I wonder how he's going to take to the second half of the year. Is he going to improve and get better? And, Brad Cox does have a previous win in this race. We'll go over, momentarily. And probably the biggest question mark in the race is Classic Causeway, who at the beginning of the year was one of the top 3-year-olds, and he just kind of fell off the map. He won the Sam F. Davis, won the Tampa Bay Derby, and then lost the Florida Derby, Kentucky Derby. Just kind of fell out of favor. But even in the wins of the Tampa Derby and Sam F. Davis, people still, kind of question his horse against the top competition. And also, this horse moves from Brian Lynch to Kenny McPeek. So, how is that going to work for the horses? Is the horse going to improve? Is this I feel like if he won, I wouldn't be surprised, but I could also see him, running dead last. Either way, he's a big question mark in the field. And the last major contender is none other than Ethereal Road. And Ethereal Road is trained by the coach, Dwayne Lucas. And this horse won the Sir Barton Stakes in really good fashion, but the field in that race was not very great. And he also lost to Tawny Port in the Lexington. But he does have that second place finish in the Rebel where he was actually got up to the lead, in deep stretch and just lost on the money, and then he won the maiden special weight. So it does kind of feel like this horse has started to, maybe trend in the right direction. It took him a little bit to, get going. Sometimes you'll see with, Dwayne Lucas horses, and the rest of the field, some solid names you've heard amongst the Derby trail, like Baris, who ran in the Wood Memorial and got a fifth place finish, and Brigadier General, who is just a maiden winner. You got Dropping G's, who got fourth in the Matt win. Hadn't really done too much on the trail. I really don't see this horse winning. Then you got the big names: Ethereal Road, White Abarrio. You got Pineapple Man, who for some reason, when I see this name, I really like the name Pineapple Man. But there's, not much if you go by past performance that can, really say that he should beat this field. But nonetheless, I got to say I like the name. And then, of course, Tawny Port, who picks up the services by Rad Ortiz Jr. And then you got Classic Causeway with, Brian Hernandez. And this is going to be a real interesting race. And you got trainers with previous wins in the race, like Kenny McPeek got second with King Fury last year, so you have to respect that when it comes, thinking about Classic Causeway and his potential efforts for this year. The 2021, I'll kind of draw a line through that. That was just an odd year because of COVID and everything. All the races were out of order. Just one of them years through everything I draw a line through. And we had Owendale win for Brad Cox in 2019. And also Sappy Joseph Jr. getting, second with Math Wizard that year. And, you go to 18, you got Core Beliefs, who was trained by Peter Yurton. Go to 16, that was a great race where Gerben and Irap put on a show at the end of the race. And, Gerben got nipped at the wire by Irap. That was, to my recent memory, probably one of my favorite Ohio derbies. So, But you got a very solid field of horses. It, honestly, the field came up better than I originally anticipated that it was going to come up. So, but if I have to make my initial pick for the race, I really like. I'm gonna probably go with Tawny Port and Ethereal Road. I want to play against uh, White Abarrio, not because I mean I have to respect him. He's probably gonna be the favorite, but I'm gonna try to maybe catch a little bit of a price and try it with hope Tawny Port can get just a little bit better to the second half of the year. Or Ethereal Road had the quarter crack that caused him to miss the Belmont, but it must not be that serious because he's already 10 days later, or no, I'm sorry, what, 2 weeks later, already back to another race again. So maybe he can keep that form he had in the Sir Barton. If he does, he could run a very good race against this field. And I'll have more videos on the race. And thanks for watching, guys.